Okay. As Avram said, Michal Avram, we thank Michal Avram and Gedalia for setting up the screen in the shul. Welcome everyone as we broadcast for the first time from my bungalow in Elm Shade Estates, South Fallsburg. And we are starting I think we're up to the Lishna Achrina, 3 lines from the bottom. Right?
Yes, definitely 3 lines from the bottom.
Yeah, we're up to the Lishna Achrina, 3 lines from the bottom. Sponsored by A.B. Spry for Nachas from all his children, by Shalom Fogli, Nishmas Rabbi Yaakov Zeb ben Rabbi Da'aya, Rivka Bas Rabbi Yaakov Yosef, and Tzivya Miriam Bas Rav Gad, and Rabbi Yosef ben Sion ben Rabbi Yaakov Zeb Fogel. Also by Baruch Ian, Lila Nishmas Yaakov Chaim ben Abba, Esther Bas Gittel, Avram ben Shmuel HaKayin, by Yaakov Yamansky for Akarsa Tov to the Rav and the Zoom family, Nachas from their children and grandchildren, by Ed Saleh from London, and Joshua Rosenberg, one of our virtual Talmidim. We welcome in Aaron Swade, Dr. Udell, and India Guda. I see Gedalia, I see Rich Lenner, I see Berish Gesseman, and I see Michal Avram Chavin. We have Saba and Yitz Fuchs, Baruchian, Chaim Kramer, Shelley Zeitlin, Dr. Block, Mel Zachter, Shalom Fogel, Menachem Yamansky, and we have Nachman Chapler, Irving Fishbaum, Mo Kushner, Eddie Chazan, Philippe Block, Avram Resepowitz, Yitzi Muller, Ilya Shutman, Abe Arbach, Rabbi Kranz, and we have someone here, Zev. Zev is someone new, so a royal welcome to you on Zoom. And we are holding, as we said, by the Lishna Achrina. Lishna Achrina, what's the machlokes between the Tanakama and Rabbi Yossi? If you remember, the case is that Gedalia has a field, and around him, Dr. Block surrounds him on all 4 sides. Dr. Block makes one fence on one side, a second fence, a third fence, and now he makes the 4th wall. And we said that once he makes the 4th wall, enclosing Gedalia completely, Gedalia has to participate. Now, what's the machlokes between the Tanakama and Rabbi Yossi? So the Gemara says, Lishna Achrina makif v'nikif ikebenau. It depends whether Dr. Block made the 4th side or whether Gedalia made the 4th side. Tanakama Savar im Godar makif esaravias. If Dr. Block did it, nami yohavle. Gedalia also has to give. Rabbi Yossi says no. Im Amar Nikif v'Gadar Esarias. If Gedalia fenced the 4th side, so then he's megala that he wants the enclosure. Who the Yovle, the Gali Daite, the Nichole. He shows that he wants the enclosure. Avalim Gadar Makif, but in the event that Dr. Block enclosed it, Lo Yovle Mida, he doesn't have to give anything, because Gedalia says, look, I like expensiveness. I don't want to be fenced in. So here we have a situation, as we start the top of Daf Hei Amud Aleph, that Runya Akve Ravina Me'arba Ruchaisav. Runya, now we're going to see later on in the Sugya that Runya was not a very wealthy man. He was a poor man. So Ravina surrounded Runya from all 4 sides. So Amalei, he said to him, look, now you're benefiting. Hovli kama de gardi. Give me half of my expenditures. Ravina put up a rock fence, so he wanted to collect half from Runya. Lo Yovle. Runya didn't give it to him. He says he doesn't need it. So he said, okay, if you don't want to chip in with a rock wall, but at least hopefully Lafiq Konim Bazil, at least give me, if you would have made a cheap reed fence, give me 50% of a cheap reed fence. Lo Yavle. Runya didn't give that either. He says, I don't want that either. Hopefully Agar Netirusa. So then he said to Runya, okay, but of course you don't want an ayin hara when your crops are in full growth, so you would hire a guard to chase people away from looking during that time. At least pay me for that. Lo Yavle. He wouldn't give that either. So Yom Echad, one day, Havakagoder Dikle, Runya was in his field, and he was cutting down some dates. You know, there are palm trees that are date palms. So he was cutting down some dates from his palm tree. Amalei Larise, Ravina said to his sharecropper, Zil shkol minei kibura dahine. Go and take from him a bunch of dates. Azalasuye, the sharecropper went to take it. Rama Bekala. So when Runya saw that, he shouted at him, leave it alone. Amalei, so Ravina, of course, wasn't planning to steal from Runya. He did it to show him, Golis daitech de meinach nechelach. You showed that you know, the dates are precious to you, and therefore you definitely want it to be protected. Lo ye'eliza ba'alma, even if only goats would come into the field, miloi boy netirusa, doesn't it need protection from the goats? Amalei iza ba'alma lachluye boy. All I have to do with a goat is to shout at it. Amalei v'lav gabra boys to make. Don't you need somebody to shout at it? So you would have to hire somebody to shout at the goats. So they come to an agreement. So Ravina and Runya came before Rava for a psak, which is the right thing to do. You go to a din Torah. So also the coming to Rava. Amalei, so Rava told Runya, look, if you're smart, zil faisei b'maydi fais. Go and appease him what he's willing to take. He's willing to take that you should only pay a guard for when the crops is in full growth, and 50% of that. So accept that. The Eloi, if not, I'll throw the book at you. The Eloi da inalach dina kirafuna ali Rabbi Yaisi. I will rule like Rav Huna according to Rabbi Yaisi that you have to pay half. When he fences in on the fourth side, you have to pay half of the wall that he put up. So therefore, you know, if he's willing to offer you a compromise, accept it. Now here's another case with Runya. Runya Zovin Ara Amitzra de Ravina. Runya bought a field that bordered on Ravina's fields. Now, it didn't border on Runya's field. It bordered on Ravina's field. And there's a din, because of a sisa yoshev atoiv, that the bar metzra, that the person who's has a field nearby gets first crack at it. So Ravina should have been able to buy it. So Sava Ravina l'saluke, Ravina figured that he could remove Runya from the field, Mishum Dina de Bar Metzra, because he has precedence, because he's a Bar Metzra. His other field borders this field. Amalei Rav Safra Braid Rav Yair Ravina, in this case, the Vasisa Yoshev Atoiv dictates that you should leave Runya in the field. Amalei Rav Safra Braid Rav Yair Ravina, Imre Inche, Arba Litzala. Runya was a very poor shoemaker. In those days they called it a cobbler. He was a very poor shoemaker. He made very little money. Why? Because Imre Inche, people say Arba Litzala, he has to pay 4 zuz for the hide, and Arba Litzala, he has to pay another 4 zuz for the tanner. Now, how much do you think he makes selling the shoe? And therefore, if he's going to benefit from buying this field, so the Vasisa Yoshev Atoiv in this case is to leave it with Runya. Okay. just getting started over here on a beautiful Sunday evening, broadcasting from the country, and it's from the marvels of Hashem that we're able to do this. It's really remarkable, and I just see that I didn't turn on my digital thing. That's really great, so we're working a little bit on a hobbled here a little bit because we don't have, for some reason, Kol Lashon is not working, and Facebook I didn't set up yet. So, but we have anytime, and I will email it to Kol Lashon. We're starting now from the Mishnah on Daf Hamid Aleph. Kaisel Chatzir Shenafal. If, let's say, a wall in a courtyard falls down. Now, this is a courtyard that I'm sharing with Mel. Now, since it had a wall before, so that means we had an agreement to have a wall, right? Because there's no chazis that shows that it's only my wall. So, Kaiser Chatzir Shenafal Mechayven Aisai Liv Naisai. I could force Mel to chip in to rebuild it at Arba Amas up to the height of 4 Amas, because it's that's enough for privacy. And the Cheskas Shenosan, and we assume that Mel paid for it until I prove that he didn't pay for it. Why? Because I wouldn't set up to put up the wall until I get the money from Mel. Midal Amas Ulamalan, but more than 4 Amas, since it's enough for Hezekiah if it's 4 Amas. More than 4 Amas, Ein Mechayven I say. More than 4 Amas, I can't force Mel to put it up. However, if even just water. However, Samach like Kaisel Achar, if Mel puts up another wall parallel to this wall, and it looks like he's going to make a structure with a roof. So Samach like Kaisel Achar, if he puts a second wall next to it, even if he didn't make a roof yet, going from one wall to the next, then I could demand from him, thank you very much, then I could demand from him the full height of the wall. And there, we assume that he didn't pay yet, until he proves that he did pay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'hakol niyeh b'dvaro.
Amen.
Now here's an interesting case. What happens over here is, Amar Reish Lakish, hakivei zman l'chaveirei. If I make up that I'm giving $1,000 to Michal, and he's going to pay me in 30 days. That's what it is. I gave it to him for 30 days. That's the meaning of a kivei zman l'chaveirei. I fix a deadline. He's going to pay me in 30 days. V'amaloi paraticha b'seich zman. And Michal claims that he paid me early, in 2 weeks. Eino neman. Reish Lakish says that he's not believed. Reish Lakish says he's not believed. Ulavai sheparaticha b'zmanai. Ulavai shepara b'zmanai. Halavai, a debtor should pay in time. If he has my $1,000, he's not paying it early. Abaye v'Rav disagree. Abaye v'Rav dimrei tovayu. No, not so. Michal is believed. A person is believed to say that he paid early. Sometimes Michal gets the money and he says, look, if I have the money already, let me pay. Zimdan the Misram he gets a hold of $1,000. Amar Ezel Ifrei, let me go pay Rabbi Weiss, that he shouldn't bother me later. If I have the money, let me take care of it right away. So here's an interesting shayla. Very negative shayla. I give him a loan for $1,000 and he claimed he paid me early. Is he believed? So the Gemara says, Tanan, we learned in our Mishnah that if I put up the wall to 4 amas, b'chezkat shenosan, we assume that Mel paid me, ad sheyavi raya shaloi nosan, until he proves that he didn't pay me. Until I prove that he didn't pay me. So now, heichidami. If Mel says I paid on time, so pshita b'chezkat shenosan, the person is believed to say he paid at the time. He said that he paid early. Alma, so that means since we say Mel is believed, Alma ovidinish the pare b'seichs mani, that he pays before it's due. Says no, what happened over here, let's get Yeshua Shmuel Eisenberg in. He's having trouble getting in. Oh, good. Yeshua Shmuel, I'm glad you made it in. Yeshua Shmuel is the 29th Zoomer of the evening. And I had communication today. Mark called me when he was already in the plane before he took off, coming back from Eretz Yisrael. So he's looking forward to rejoining us tomorrow night. Says he misses everybody. Also, we have regards to everybody from Ruvain Shannon. Ruvain Shannon left Eretz Yisrael today for 17 days. So he's going to be a shout out to him. He's going to be listening on TorahAnytime.com. We're marshalless tonight. Okay. So it says the Gemara, no, it's different over here. Shani Hacha, what happens is Mel says that he paid me piecemeal for every row of bricks. And it's telling us that that's the Zman, it's due, each row, payment is due when the row is made. Shani Hacha, the kol shafa v'shafa, each row, that's the way Artskel has the pronunciation. Shafa v'shafa, each row, zimneu. That's the time when it's due to be paid, and therefore Mel is believed to say he paid it. Tajma, if Mel builds a parallel wall, then even the part that's above 4 amas, he has to chip in, because obviously he wants it, because he's going to make a roof from the parallel wall to the wall that I built. So Tajma b'cheska shaloi nasan, and we assume that Mel did not pay ad sheyavi raya shenasan. Now again, hey chidami, what's the case? Ilay madamale paraticha bismani. If he said I paid it when I built the second wall, so then Amaylai, why isn't he believed? Elalav damale paraticha b'seichs mani. He says I paid it even before I finished building my second wall. So we see the fact that we don't believe him shows that a person doesn't pay within the time. Says the Gemara, no. Shani Hach, it's different over here. The reason why he didn't pay yet is because he says, it's talking about where he said he paid me on time. In other words, when he put up his wall. And the reason why we don't believe him is because we say he's not going to give it without an argument. Because since the halacha is when I build the wall over 4 amas, he doesn't have to chip in, because Hezekiah only goes until 4 amas. Even when he puts up the parallel wall, he's not going to pay me without a fight. Because he's going to say, who says that I have to pay? So here the Gemara now tells us a machloikis about this is a very basic argument. Rav Papa, Rav Huna B'rei Rabbi Yeshua of the Kabaya v'Rava. Rav Papa and Rav Huna B'rei Rabbi Yeshua do like Kabaya v'Rava, and they say that a debtor is believed to say, I paid early. Because if people get the cash, they want to take care of the debt. Mar Baravashi, but Mar Baravashi of it Reish Lakish. He did like Reish Lakish, that people, if they have money in hand, they don't pay early. The Hilchas are Reish Lakish, and the law is like Reish Lakish. People that have money is valuable. They don't pay before it's due. And the din is true. Va'afilu miyasmei. This is true even if it's in the case of orphans. That means that if, let's say, the father owed money, let's say Chatzkel owed me money, and it was I gave it to him for 6 months, and he died after 3 months, and the Yisayimim say that the father paid, I could collect from the Yisayimim even without a shvua. Says the Gemara, "V'afilu miyasmei, v'afal gavda mamar, abali para minichse Yisayimim." If I come to collect from orphans, lo yifra ela b'shvua, I can only collect with an oath. Chazaka, but there's a chazaka that the father didn't pay before the time. So therefore, if it was due in 6 months and it's only 3 months, we assume the father didn't pay, and I could collect from the orphans even without a shvur, because chazaka lo yavid inish the para begav zimnei. A person doesn't pay inside the time; he only pays when it's due. Now we know that we have a klal of migu. Migu means I have credibility because why would I have to make something up? I have an easier claim that, in other words, even though I'm making a claim that's normally not credible, but I'm believed because mali l'shaker. Why would I lie? I could have said a credible claim. So here the Gemara declares an interesting thing. If, let's say, I gave to Mel $1,000 for 6 months. That's what happened. And in the 7th month, I asked Mel for the money. And Mel told me I paid you in the 5th month. Now Mel could have said I paid you on time. And then he would be believed. So shouldn't he be believed now to tell me he paid me in the 5th month? Because Malay l'shaker, he has a migu. Why would he lie? If he was lying, he should have said he paid me in the 6th month. And then he's believed, because he's believed to tell me that he paid me on time. So therefore the migu says that he should be believed to say he paid me in the 5th month. Is migu strong enough to go against the chazaka that a person doesn't pay before it's due? And that's the Gemara's question. Very interesting question. Iboilu, Tova la'achazman. I asked Mel for the money. I gave it to him for 6 months, and I asked him in the 7th month. V'amalai, and he said, Rabbi Weiss, paraticha b'seichs money. I paid you in the 5th month. Now, if he would have said he paid me in the 6th month when he was due, he would be believed. So now that he says he paid me in the 5th month, what's the din? Mi amrinan, do we say b'makam chazaka, even against the chazaka that we have a presumptive status that a person doesn't pay before it's due, but amrinan mali l'shaker, we give credence to a migu. Why would he lie? He could have said he paid me in the 6th month. Oy dilma, or perhaps even though Mel has a migu, he has a mali l'shaker, but b'makam chazaka, but here there's a strong chazaka that a person doesn't pay before it's due, which makes him not credible. We don't say that the migu makes him believable. So I hate to hold you on a cliffhanger, but we're going to have to wait till tomorrow to determine the solution to this. By that time, Mark Franco will be back already, so that will give him a chance to get into this act. We're going to do the Mishnah Yaimis now, Rabbi Isai.